What's going on, Shroot Stock Squad? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, do yourselves a favor, hit that subscribe button, come join the Discord, link in the Patreon below, because we're building wealth over here. None of this is financial advice. Now let's get into this, guys. All right, so portfolio's down again. No news, no surprise on that end, right? So let me show you look, no changes have been done. I show you this sort of transparency, guys. I'm showing you this journey to 1 million, that it's open and as transparent as it gets. You don't see this anywhere else on YouTube, guys. I put my money where my mouth is, and that means showing the green days and the red days. So, no real updates. The 3-month chart, we take a look. I'm still down 15 grand, which is, man, that's hard to see, because remember back a couple months ago, it was sitting at 180, but this is what happens in the market, right? Let me just give you guys a quick update right now. So what ended up happening in the morning, I made a quick play, small turnaround in this TNXP stock. They had, I posted this in the Discord earlier, TNX, yeah, this one. They had a recent news catalyst of one of their, they got approved for, I think it was a COVID treatment and something like that. I think there was some, I forgot what the exact thing was, but they had some sort of catalyst that came up. So we bought in like right around here, and then we just sold out, made a quick like $50 or something. Didn't put too much invested in there. So after that though, what I ended up doing, I added a little bit more money into Sidious, and that money started, I've been dollar cost averaging into this for a while now. This stock is going down right now. Even if we look at last 1 week, last 1 month, yeah, it's been taking a hit. And this is a theme, if you notice, on almost all of these smaller biopharma stocks and stuff. They've been really taking a hit, guys. And I just want you to know, if you guys are getting hurt on Sidious, I'm getting hit with you on this. And the reason why I'm still bullish on this thing is they have that catalyst coming up in May, right? At the end of this month, coming up in 2 weeks or so. So basically what that is they're going to be getting a review done. So let me explain this a little bit. Basically what happened is Sidious they had that advanced review case with the FDA for their Minilock technologies, right? And because they got that advanced review, that doesn't mean they're guaranteed FDA approval or anything. What that means is this, guys. Most clinical trials, because this is in phase 3, they typically need to get 100% of the trial done. Let's say you have 100 patients, they want to see, the FDA wants to see 100 patients results. How many of the 100 had whatever side effects, what was their results, etc. With this, they get the ability to only have 65% of the patient data completed, right? So what they end up seeing here is, if 65% of the results are done by this end of this month, April, then there's a special committee, it's called the DMC. They end up reviewing what the results are, and they can then progress this to an actual FDA early approval on that. So this right now is not the big end-all be-all catalyst. You know what I'm saying? This is just, hey, we may end up getting a speed up on the whole thing. Now, let's just say they do this and they see 65% and they're like, we don't really like the results. We're not sure. You know what I say with the market, guys? This thing overreacts. And in anything, if there's a little good news, it's going to shoot it up a lot. If there's a little bad news, it's going to drop it down a lot. So if we see this thing and the DMC review doesn't go as well, they're like, hey, 65% of people isn't enough for us to make a decision. Like, hey, let's progress this to the FDA. This stock is going to go down even more, which is great for us, because you know what that means? All that means is get the other 35% of the patients done and show us the results. And that was normally scheduled to be completed at the end of this quarter, I think. I think it's in the end of June is when they would have normally completed everything. So this is really not a big deal. If you follow what I'm saying on it, it's either we get the catalyst now at the end of this month, or we see this stock go down a bit more, and then we get to buy back in and wait for the June catalyst on that one. This is I think what I should really show you guys is like what the whole FDA approval process is. It's a little bit more complex than some people like to make it seem. There's different committees involved. There's different steps of the whole way. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So these things, we can expect some volatility on it. $1.63, I've just been dollar cost averaging into this, and that's about it. Let me show you what else. Apple and Disney, both of these stocks came down since I've bought them. But hey, this is, like I've explained in my other video, This I'm just holding on to for these catalysts that are coming up at the end of the month, and we'll ride it out like that and go from there. All right. The other stock, I mean, guys, if you take a look at your portfolios, I mean, man, a lot of people are getting hurt right now. This is, it's been a red wave for a couple months now. That's all right, guys. Look, I've been through this before. This is the reason why I've made the channel. I started this journey back when I was, I think, like 19, and I had to started it with Tesla, you know. And Tesla, when I first bought it, it tanked. It went half its value when I first bought it within the first 3 months, and I was like, what am I doing here? It takes a while, guys. Sometimes we end up seeing a lot more red than we'd like to see. You just kind of have to see it through. All right, make sure you're in the right place. Make sure what your strategy is, what's your goal, what is your end goal really, and then go from there. Don't copy my moves, guys. This is not financial advice, and I mean that, because I'm growing this thing in my goal is 2 years. It's highly risky, you know, to 10x a portfolio in 2 years. That is absurd, to be quite honest. That's a lot of risk. So that's why I'm willing to take on the risk on this one. So don't mimic it. Let me show you some other plays I wanted to talk about right now. NIO. Yeah, NIO had a big run up this morning. I think what happened was they released, I think they put up a sneak peek, I think, on their Instagram or someplace, of the new model that they're having out, the new sedan that they're releasing. So that one, maybe, I don't know, people got traction of that. Who the heck knows why it ran up, but it came back down as usual. These small market cap stocks, guys, these small cap stocks, they've been hurting for a while, you know. And like I've told you a month ago, when these markets are red, the money goes to the big players first, then it's going to have to trickle back down to the small market cap stocks. And this is not, okay, let's think of something for a second. Okay, NIO, for 1 year, this thing grew 1,000%, okay? Let's take another company that we like, Palantir. Let's take a look at this. For what, I mean, they just released out here in October, but like you can see the run up it's had, it's enormous, right? Now let's compare that to Apple. A good example. Apple got a 92% gain, which is a lot of money in 1 year. That's really good gains in 1 year. But compare that to some of these smaller market cap stocks that we saw last year, you know, it's really hard to compete. So you see, last year, what we saw was a lot of the money was being shifted into the small market cap stocks. Now we're getting a little bit of a correction in that. I don't mean a market correction. Don't twist my words. What I mean to say is it's a correction in terms of where the money is allocated right now. So a lot of the money is getting pulled out from the small market cap stocks. It's getting put back into the big ones, you know, Google, Microsoft, Apple, all of those things. And then eventually when things stable out, we can see it start coming back into our favorite plays like NIO, Palantir, all of those good things, right? Even MP, like take a look at this. This thing is now below $30, which, man, if the last time this thing happened, let's see. I mean, I hit 28 today. The last time it got this low was what? All the way back in January. You know, so we're hitting all-time lows on this thing right now, and who knows where it's going to be. All I can tell you is this: long-term thesis on these companies is good, right? Long-term basis is solid. Right now, though, it's if you can't handle seeing the red, you know, it's going to be hard for you to stomach some of these. But I'm saying if you hold out and you're in the right place, if you hold out long enough, you can see some very good returns at the end of the day, right? It's just think of how long it must have taken me to see the results of my Tesla, the results of my Apple, the results of all of these stocks that I did from years ago. I only got to see like a year or two later. You know, I saw red for a while, and then I finally got to see some actual money come in like that. Now, that wasn't the smartest move, but I learned from these things. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of just play with the market. You don't need to be stagnant in it, but you kind of have to play it with risk to reward, all right? Now, let me talk about NIO. This is the main thing I wanted to talk about right now. So there's a few catalysts I wanted to bring up for you guys, all right? I was doing some research on this. All right, so look, I was on Yahoo Finance, and take a look at this. On Thursday, April 29th, they're going to be having their first quarter 2021 financial results coming out. This is, of course, going to be announced, I think, 8 a.m. Beijing time. So that's going to be after the U.S. markets have closed. So you can consider getting in on this if you want to ride out that wave, if you think it's going to be, you know, momentum wave to bring up, and then you can cash out, whatever you want to do. Or if you want to hold it long term, then this should, if you're holding NIO long term, 5-10 years, this doesn't make a difference, relatively speaking. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just a short-term catalyst in it. The reason why I say we can expect this results to be good is this. This is coming straight from the NIO website itself, guys. This was on April 1st. They published this article, right? I took these screenshots earlier and pasted it in to show you guys. So NIO delivered 7,257 vehicles in March 21. That increasing 373% year over year. They delivered 20,060 vehicles in the 3 months ended on March 2021. That's more than 423% year over year. And then the cumulative deliveries of their 3 vehicles so far at the end of March was over 95,000. Guys, these are basically, if you don't know what the hell any of this means, all you can take a look at, increasing by couple 100%, increasing by couple 100%, and another increasing by couple 100%, right? That's good news for a company if we're invested in it, right? Just understand though, this market, you can give the best news to some of these companies and they may still take a hit. So you can ride out the wave. I personally think there's going to be some money. There's going to be some people eyeing this and they're going to try to buy in on it. But like we saw today, you can see on, especially on that NIO stock. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Yeah. Look what we saw. There was a wave up and then it comes down again. This is the thing right there. It ended up hitting almost like $38 and then bam, 35. Who knows right now? I'm recording this around like 1 p.m. Eastern time, and who knows where it's going to end up with the market. But like I'm saying, if it's a smaller market cap stock, the overall trend, this is not to say we won't see little blips of green in the day. We may not see it spike up at some point. We probably will. But the overall trend, just take a look at the 1 month here, minus 17%. And this is not just NIO. This is almost all of the smaller market cap stocks. They're all just taking a hit like this. The other thing I wanted to mention with NIO, so we have those 3 things that can boost up their financial report coming out on the 29th. And then they also, they have an expansion that came out. They're going to be releasing this news on May 6th. I got this on investorplace.com. So on May 6th, they're going to be announcing that they're going to be expanding into Europe, right? And that's a big deal because as of right now, think of it, they're really just focused in China. And that's a huge market cap. China is probably the biggest EV sector, the EV market in the world, quite honestly. But now they're going into Norway in Europe. And that's a very smart move, in my opinion, to go into Norway. Norway is already EV friendly as is. So much of the country is already geared towards that sort of industry. And to begin their expansion into Europe and Norway, I think is a very smart move. These people, they know what they're doing. It's just, and this is the other issue with NIO, I have to say, because it is a Chinese company, it's subject to more volatility pending like government tensions and things like that. And, we can't control what happens. I can't tell Joe Biden, what to say to the Chinese president or anything like that, and any of those delegations and things like, and, all of those. So if something happens and they decide to start throwing on tariffs to China and all of those things start happening again, well, we're going to see this stock go down, even though they can have all this great news come out, because as a US investor, they don't like that. So you kind of have to play this thing as is, guys. I'm still bullish on NIO. I think it's going to be a great company 5-10 years. If you want to keep this as like a very good play, for long term, I'm okay with you guys doing that. Just understand, I keep telling you how to build a portfolio out, what to do. I see a lot of this stuff coming out to some of the members out on the Discord. Your foundations, if you're beginning how to invest in stocks, guys, invest in companies that you know of, that you believe in, and you've done a lot of research on, okay? That can just be Apple if you want it to be. That can be Google if you want it to be. It does not have to be these highly gaining stocks, guys. They don't need to be the ones that are like, I don't know which one. Let's see. They don't need BNGO. Does not Bionanogenomics. I can make the most bullish thesis I want on this company, but you cannot compare BNGO to a company like Amazon. The stability, the growth that they can have is very different, guys. You may not make as much money with Amazon, but your money is much safer in Amazon. And that's why I like putting those in foundations. All right. My whole entire portfolio is not based upon these like small catalysts like Cydius, and I'm not like, this is just for this Robinhood portfolio. I'm showing my whole thing though, guys. It's not based on these small catalysts. You know, you got to build a foundation. It's like building a house, guys. I keep telling you, building a house, building a cake, you need that foundation. Foundation, foundation, foundation. I'm going to emphasize this all day long because some of you guys are getting burned, and then I hate seeing that because you're taking advice from the wrong places and you're not doing your research. Don't get too greedy, all right? Don't get too greedy, and slow and steady is going to win the race. At the end of the day, guys, no one becomes wealthy overnight. You can be rich overnight if you decide to win the lottery or make the right play. Yeah, you'll be rich. Try repeating that consecutively. Now that's a skill and that's wealth. And nobody really, it's very hard to do that. It's very hard to predict day after day, week after week, what's going to be the thing. This is a long-term process, guys, and that's why I say we're in this channel to build wealth. All right. With all that said, guys, you know what I say at the end, right? Stay happy, stay healthy. Let's get wealthy. Take care.